I can bring this to you. I can show everybody this and then ask my chat. Chat, what do you think he's doing right now? Hopefully you can hear it if you're only listening. No, I want chat to give me their honest opinions. Don't lie for me. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you disagree on our assessment of this.
This is about the fact, how do we bring the country back together?
He's doing his taxes. He's making a mojito. He's shaking up on that. I don't know. Is it unusual for Ralph to go like 2 minutes continuously without any commentary?
Cannot compete with Donald Trump there, and the fact that she can't do it there.
I don't know. I'm not like a huge kill stream watcher, so I'm not entirely sure.
Well, you're not gonna do it in Florida either.
Oh, there you go. There's some commentary.
Approximately in Haley's home state, he has been targeting her as too weak to take on Biden.
She would not be able to handle that position. She would not be able to handle the onslaught.
All right, let's bring in.
It's itchy, very itchy name.
Eugene Scott. Eugene, good morning. It's always wonderful to see you.
I mean, come on.
He's just slapping the cramps out of his leg. That's what he said. He said that he's like massaging the muscle. It's getting more vigorous too. It must be working.
He's not above the law.
He's chopping it.
Legal strategy here, but insisting that she would still pardon him.
I know Nikki Haley's voice is just so pleasant to the ears. How can you resist?
Trump supporters and independents at the same time. And what's difficult about that is that these voting blocs actually often have different views on Donald Trump and how he should be handled.
Nikki, come on.
Donald Trump has been since leaving the White House and have expressed real concern.
I mean, I'm open to other answers for this because he denies it.
While president, and many of the base love him and want him to keep doing what he's done, and support his plan for retribution towards his enemies.
And then it just stops. He's just done. After all that vigorous massaging of his leg, he's just like, yeah, you know what? That was enough. That was my leg is fully awake now. I'm just done. I don't know. He says that his leg had fallen asleep and that he was simply massaging the muscles to improve circulation so that it would wake up faster. Now, I do not believe that. I'm not an expert on these matters, chat. However, I would say that is more reminiscent of Dark Side Phil than it would of other activities. And so I posted this on Zitter. I said, I regret to inform everyone that Ethan Ralph has pulled a DSP and accidentally streamed himself jerking off while listening to Nikki Haley. And then I even generously, as a citizen journalist, I added a asterisk next to my message. And I indicated to the world, to anyone listening, that this may be a disputed claim, phrase it like that Ralph has an alternative theory to what he is doing, and it is not necessarily in line with what seems to be obvious. He says that he was merely trying to awaken his leg. As I say, he denies this and says that he was keeping his leg from falling asleep by slapping it. So, I've been very nice to Ralph. I've been trying to encourage him to stay sober for the last couple of months. He's fallen off the wagon a little bit, but I'm still being optimistic because if Ralph can change, then nobody has any excuse. If Ralph can be good, then how can anyone say that they don't have the power, the strength of will to do it? How do you think Ethan Ralph replied to this? If you guessed he jumped out and called me a pedophile again, you were correct. Oh, sorry, here's a picture of Nikki Haley with a dolphin to understand why Ralph feels like he has a chance with her. From what I understand, she's like a former Marine from Hawaii. She was a little bit of a favorite for a while, but she quickly fell out of favorite. Anyways, there's her with a dolphin. He replies, untrue, but I regret to inform everyone that you hosted a haven for pedophiles and did it for money. Because if you host a website for pedophiles, but you do it for free, that is worse. Or is it better? I don't know. I assume that making money makes it better to Ralph. Makes it a gooder thing. So In response to this very dismissively, I say on the Kiwi Farms, I have never in my life seen an ego so fragile. And within 21 minutes, Ralph sees this and says, you ego is so fragile, just let people lie on your name. No big deal. Sorry, Josh Potter. It is a big deal. Now, this is the third name that he's given me. I was previously John Potter, and then I was Joa, and then I was what else was it? Was it John Potter was a weird one, and now it's Josh Potter. There are certain rumors about my name, and I will tell you this, that none of them accuse me of being Josh Potter. So he read this once, trying to dig up dirt on me like a year ago, misread it for whatever reason, and has continued to repeat this for literally years without ever clarifying to see if what he's saying is at all true. By the way, he sent this to me. He literally sent this tweet to me on Telegram, and I saw it on my phone, and I decided to not even open it. So I left him unread. And then at a certain point, after not responding, he deleted our entire conversation history for both of us. So I noticed that his like contact image disappeared off Telegram, which happens only if someone deletes their entire history of conversation with you. So he was upset that I didn't even read his message, and he purged our logs. I didn't say anything to him. I guess he kind of did, but I'm not gonna I don't know. I don't have any reason to try and shit on him that bad. It wasn't anything too interesting, I promise. It wasn't anything, I'll say it like this. It wasn't anything I didn't talk about on the stream. It just may be something that he doesn't want people to know that he sent me. He then decided to boot up after he purged our conversation logs. He then went on to Rumble, the premier streaming service of the internet, to I just realized that T-Clips is posting with a picture of her. That's a picture of her, right? Like in clown makeup? That's very bizarre. Anyways, he decides to go ahead and call me a pedophile again, and do a whole stream on how I'm a pedophile and see about me for hours. I'll read these notes from the end of Ralph's stream. Ralph told a story about how Panzuela told him, Panzuela, by the way, being the Mexican prostitute that he hired to be his girlfriend, told him to drive with an open beer because it's Mexico. He doesn't think Mexico has an open container law, and even if they did, he expects to be able to bribe the cops. He then goes into a cope session with a clip from yesterday. How could you even come that quietly and that stern-facedly? Like, I don't know, it's kind of crazy, but you can see how my hand's moving, and it's because I'm punching my leg. First, I started scratching my leg, and then I was getting really tired, so I started hitting my leg to, stay awake. Now, why he was trying to stay awake, he says because he had been abusing by prescription legally, not abusing, using as ordered, by the way, Xanax all week. So it's was having a hard time staying awake. Ralph points out he was a really intelligent guy. I'm a really intelligent person, and I hope that gets clipped for Kiwi Farms. There you go. Ralph suggests he will focus his attention on the Kiwi Farms king for the rest of this year. By the way, Ralph probably jerked off because it looks like he's jerking off in this clip, and it's really obvious to everyone that it looks like he's jerking off. I will be focusing 100% of my brain power on this matter for the remainder of 2024. Mark my words. Okay, Ralph. I'm not going to go back to take his site down. No, I want to take his life down. I don't give a fuck about his site. He picked the wrong fight today, he says. This picture of him being here. I wasn't saying shit about you. You really featured me on your site. I don't know. I did. I featured the tagline. I wonder if the site's going to work now, because it's kind of working on my other monitor. It says, Ethan Ralph pulled a DSP and accidentally streamed himself masturbating to Nikki Haley. That's all I said. Because that's what it looks like. I mean, some people disagree. It sounds like someone said that he had alcoholic tremors or something. Ralph talks about how he's going to eat his torta even though it's already cold, and adds, "In trying to triangulate my position based on torta shops, first off, it ain't going to work. Second off, just blatant fucking harassment. I mean, it's funny to hear nobody's going to cry for me, but like, and you know who did that, Mary Jane? You know who did that? Do you know who I used to take to that same torta shop? I bet you do. Do you know who I used to take to that Goira sushi shop? I bet you do. Do you think it's an accident that I took pictures at both of these places? I bet you know it wasn't an accident. Yeah." And then he adds, "And if you can find me, come find me. I mean, I haven't seen it happen yet, and I'm still living at the same address. You haven't even proven that I'm moving." I think someone did actually go to Ralph's address to serve him papers, and he like chimped out. Do you remember this? It was Harry Morris had sent somebody to Mexico just to service him, and he like fled. He like went to the beach or some shit. I remember this vaguely, but not enough to actually recount this in any accurate detail. And then this happened.
Yes, hello, Hal.
Oh,
Hello?
hello.
I mean, it's a fake gym, but what's up?
Oh, I just want to see how you doing today, there, Picket Tits.
I'm doing great, man.
Oh, you won $200. How many tortas does that buy?
It buys a lot of tortas, actually.
Now, do you usually source your tortas from the trash can you get your burgers from, or do you go to a restaurant?
Nah, I used to go to the restaurant, but since you won't admit that you're Jim, I mean, there's no reason to let you stay, so. But anybody who wants to come in under their real name, and that's not Jim, by the way, that's some idiot.
I just want to make it clear,
Yeah.
100% clear. That is Jim, obviously. He's just so afraid of talking to him, I guess, that he booted him off immediately. Jim confirmed on the Fediverse that it was him. By the way, pay special attention to his chat in this upcoming bit.
Dummy Jim. Why would anybody think that's the real Jim? Like, I'm serious. Let me ask you this. Press 1 if you thought that was the real Jim.
Press 1, chat.
Absolutely nobody thought that, you idiot.
I love how he lies.
You know,
This just shows you how
can't-
flawed
I can't,
voting is. Because he asked people, press 1 if you
won.
think that
Like,
was
I don't
Jim.
care.
And then they did. And he just doesn't like... He doesn't say... he doesn't even acknowledge the results of his own election. He just says, like, obviously everyone agrees with me. That's basically how I feel about voting, chat. I want to be real with you.
He had every chance up until now to face me, and now he picks now to try to face me. And then he what? Oh God, Ralph threw me out in 5 seconds.
Yeah. So there you go. He invited Jim on. Jim shows up, and then he decides, no, actually, fuck this. Also, that wasn't Jim, by the way. So don't say anything. Don't you dare. Don't you even fucking think about saying that I pussied out. I'm afraid of Jim Medicare. These are all mere lies against my great name.